Guys, my name is Mel. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I've been MIA for the last 2 days because I have literally been in my own thoughts, and I've been debating whether or not to make this video, but I told myself I should just do it because knowledge is power. I'm a very transparent person. I have nothing to hide, and sharing life with people, learning things from other people's experiences, what I know, you might not know. What you know, I might not know. And that's why I decided to make this video. You guys are used to me just sharing tips and tricks with you about driving, the gig life. But there is a whole nother world inside of my life that is going on. So I decided I should probably share it with you guys because like the last 2 days, I've just been stuck in my own feelings and feeling defeated. I'm a normal human being with life. So yeah, maybe you can relate to me. Maybe you have knowledge that I don't have and you can help me out, since I'm here trying to help you out and motivate you guys and just be inspiring and having a positive environment. Why not give you guys a little bit of background? It's currently the month of December in 2022 when this video is being made. For the last 18 years, I've taken care of my beautiful daughter. We lived in Wisconsin. We lived there for 8 years. And then in June of this year, I turned 40. Right after my 40th birthday, I got a letter from my apartment complex telling me that they are no longer renewing my apartment lease. Long story short, I contacted them. They said that there was nothing they could do. I'm assuming that the reason why they let me go is because I was grandfathered into my apartment, and because of COVID and 2020 and all the changes with apartments just charging ridiculous amounts of rent. That's what happened to my apartment complex. And because I've been there for so long, I was paying the cheapest rent, and they probably just wanted me out of there so they could get more money. I get it. It's a business decision. But what they failed to do with me is give me the opportunity to say, hey, yeah, we're going to increase the rent. You can either stay or go. So long story short, they gave me 60 days for me and my newly graduated high school daughter to vacate. It came as a total surprise to me. I was devastated. Obviously that was not in the plan. So I was living this comfortable life, driving around, making good money. I didn't have money saved because I was paying off my debt, and I was living a zero budget lifestyle. I had my eBay business. I was doing, driving around in the state of Wisconsin. Plus I was doing Poshmark. I had multiple streams of income. So in 60 days, I had to find out what I'm supposed to do with my kid that is newly graduated, find a place for us to live in the middle of July, actually. So we had till August 20th to vacate. So I was given that short amount of time to find an apartment. And in the state of Wisconsin, you cannot move during the months of, I believe, November, December, January. You can't move. So everybody tries to rush and find an apartment before the winter months because it gets really cold and such. You can't be out in the cold. So moving out in the middle of the winter is not ideal, and they don't let you do it. So also, because of the pandemic, everybody has decided to rent, and 8 years ago, trying to find an apartment was not the same as it's trying to find a day. I literally had to schedule all these appointments to find apartments, and there was 10 other people looking at these apartments. So I was 1 in 10 people. They were basing it on credit scores. Well, my credit score is not the greatest. They were basing it on income. Well, it's just me, and I only made so much money. So let's just say I'm not the best candidate out of 10 people to pick to rent the apartment. So every single month, every single week, I was looking for apartments. Every single week, I was rejected in some way, shape, or form. So my daughter chose to go live with her dad down in Illinois, which is perfectly fine. I'm glad she's safe and has a safe place to stay. Meanwhile, I had to pack up my entire house that I've had for 8 years, and I decided to get a storage shed. So slowly over the weeks, I filled up my storage shed. I also ran my eBay business out of my storage shed. And then I just continued to do all of my delivery apps and stack my money until it was August 20th. Well, come August 20th, I had no apartment, no place to live, and I was technically homeless. So what I chose to do is live in my car. Researched and watched van lifers, people who have RVs, people who live in cars, and tried to gain as much knowledge and information about living pretty much my best life in my car. I learned how to, you know, where to shower, how to wash my clothes. Long story short, I learned all that stuff. So for an entire month, I was staying at rest areas in the state of Wisconsin. Meanwhile, I was driving around all day doing my delivery apps, just working towards paying for my rent. I was very happy, but in the back of my head, I also knew that the winter months were coming. Living in a car in Wisconsin is probably not an ideal thing. I mean, you have your heater or whatever, but for somebody to do it and drive around and do delivery work while living in their car in Wisconsin, it terrified me. It was getting in the colder months. I don't remember the timeline. I think I got to California in August 10th, but before that, it was getting colder out. I had stayed on my friend's driveway just to have a safe place to stay after parking rides, because I had something that terrified me at a parking ride. I had the police show up in my car, banging on my window, treating me like I was a nobody and a total nuisance in a rest area. I was in my pajamas, this vulnerable woman, and they treated me like I was just a nobody. Like I'm not supposed to be here. And I'm like, you know, it was terrifying for me. So now that ruined my plan of staying in Wisconsin, making the money in the area that I'm familiar with. And, you know, I had to figure out where I was going to go next. I stayed on a friend's driveway. It wasn't working out for me. I stayed with a friend in their RV on their property, and I fell in love with just being in an RV. Like, I didn't have all the hookups and stuff like that, so I don't actually know how to survive in an RV, but it was just nice and peaceful and quiet, and I was like, wow, I can see myself being in one of these with a dog, just living my best RV life. To be completely honest with you guys, I don't know anything about living in an RV. I would have to learn a lot and educate myself about the lifestyle, but because I was living in my car for so long, I love living in my car. Yes, there are some pros and cons to it, but I didn't have rent to pay for. I got to work. I was happy. I got to eat. I was healthy. And, you know, besides not having any privacy or figuring out where to go to the bathroom, those were my only two, like, things. After the police situation of them knocking on my door after a month of me living perfectly fine in my car, I had a friend reach out, and I got the opportunity to come to California. She let me know, hey, I have a bedroom. You can stay. You know, for 6 months, you can figure out life and just have a safe space to stay. If you want to, you can come out here. You don't have to. So I chose to drove across the entire country from the state of Wisconsin to California to come to California. Come to California, I've had some struggles. You know, when I first got here, I was not happy. I was not making money. It was definitely a struggle. Now I'm doing okay. I'm doing my delivery work. You guys have been watching the last, you know, couple of weeks with me with December. I'm doing okay. But deep down inside, my heart is like completely empty. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So prior to all of this stuff happening, I've always told my daughter I've wanted to travel. I can see myself in my little RV traveling the world with a dog. That's been on my mind for the past like 10 years now. And now that I don't have a home, I'm homeless, my daughter's safe with her dad, and I'm out here in the beautiful state of California. Driving here, I see all these people car camping with their RVs and taking trips. It's really inspiring. I have been following a few women on YouTube that either live in their car, and it's mostly solo women with their dogs. And it's so inspiring, and it's so motivating, and it's so beautiful. And I wish I could just reach out to them and talk to them and have a phone conversation and get all their knowledge and how they do it, because it's not scary to me. I was like, I want to do that too. The last 2 days I've been MIA because I've been sitting here like, what am I supposed to be doing? I have these goals. I want to pay off my car. I want to pay off my credit card, but I feel like I'm just working like to pay bills, and it's okay. But I'm not traveling. I had a sense of freedom when I drove here. I miss that. I want that feeling back. So I am trying to figure out how. I don't want to be confined to a home. I don't want to live in a house. I'm perfectly happy being in my car. I know that sounds totally taboo and crazy to most people. I've heard it the last 5 months of my life now, but there's so many people out there living this nomadic, free, roaming lifestyle, and they work and they survive and they're happy, and you know, they have peace and they have pets and they're living their best life. And I can totally see myself doing that. I did it for a month in Wisconsin. I loved it. Yes, there was some challenges. There's always challenges to something that you start that's new, that you're not educated about. If you're not growing, how are you learning? You're not. So I don't know everything. Doing things that are completely taboo and nobody has experience, you have to find the people who have experience, who are living that, and gain the knowledge from them. So the last 2 days I've been trying to figure out what it is that where do I start? You know, where do I start? That's always the big question for me. When I was subjected to getting 60 days to be out of my house, I figured it out. I figured out how to live comfortably in my car. Is it ideal? No, but I knew I couldn't get an apartment. I knew I couldn't afford a home. I had to find a safe place for my daughter. So I made it happen. If tomorrow I wanted to go live in my car, I know that I have to sit down and be like, okay, I need this, 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 and this is how it's going to work, I think. But I've already lived in my car, so I already know. Now I'm in a whole different state, but there's national parks here, there's land here. It's not as taboo as living in your car in Wisconsin sounds. The weather is ideal here. So I have all these mixed feelings, because I truly believe that I want to spend the next 40 years, because I just turned 40, the next 40 years of my life just being out in this beautiful country that I got to drive across and see these amazing things, and I need to do more of it. I didn't feel lost when I was in my car, living in my car in Wisconsin. I just hustled, and I was like, all right, I got to stack some money up. Drove across the country. It was so liberating as a woman, as a mom, you know, taking care of my kid. I finally got to do something for me. So it was just this beautiful experience. And I never wanted that feeling to go away. And then as soon as I got to California, I was like, oh no. So not that it's good or bad, but I just want to continue to do these incredibly crazy, unpredictable things that made me happy, because that's how my life works for me. Is it normal for normal people who have a schedule, a 9 to 5? No, they're like, no thanks. But on my perspective on life, if you have a 9 to 5 in a home, in my head, I'm like, no thanks. I already did that. I got to travel across the country and be this like free spirit and just do whatever the hell I want. But in the same context, I know I need to have some money. So I'm staying at a house I pay rent for. I only have until April to figure out things. And then from there, what am I supposed to do? So I'm very lost. I know there's 5 million things I could do, but where do I start? I get overwhelmed. I have terrible anxiety, and you know I totally have to adult. I've been adulting for 40 years, but I have nobody holding my hand saying, hey, you should do this, try this, try this. It's all a matter of doing some research and just researching and figuring it out, because that's what I did when I had to move into my car. But I would like to, you know, I'm making this video because YouTube, it's going to reach so many people. So if you guys are out there and you know like a person who lives in their car, or a van lifer, or people who RV, or there's pages that you follow that you could recommend, where there's just these incredible people getting tips on how to live, how to eat, where to go, where to travel, how to do it. I would love to have some recommendations on if you guys know some incredible people. I just was watching a video, just binge watching this girl last night. She is currently in Arizona with her dog, and she's staying on free land. I didn't even know there was free land. A little bit of my story. I'm not sad about what has happened in my life. I've totally embraced it. I am the type of person that truly believes that trials and tribulations in life bring you to great things. Everything happens for a reason. You are not given anything that you couldn't handle. And everything that you are given is either, it's supposed to shift you, it's supposed to move you. It's, if you're, you know, I feel like I've been given this opportunity because in my life I was just stagnant. Like I was just, you know, I've done a lot of amazing things in my life. I'm an incredible mother. I've been to college. I'm educated. I've had many incredible jobs, but I just felt stuck doing the same shit, different days, so to speak. And then God was like, hey, we're going to flip, you know, we're going to flip your world upside down right now. And it's going to be terrifying, but you need to be shooken up a little bit. And here I am. I drove across the country. I've seen some beautiful things that are a bucket list. I saw the Grand Canyon. I want more of that stuff. So I want to keep continuing to, if I have to live in my car, I don't want to pay rent anywhere. You know, I get that people are generous and I can stay places, but I don't, my best life is not in a house. I get safety is important and all that stuff, but I've never not felt safe in my car when I lived in my car by myself. I'm a big loner, you guys. I like my peace and my sanity. I want to spend the rest of my life doing things that scare the absolute shit out of me. I know I'm capable. It's going to be scary and unpredictable, but it's exciting to me. I don't have any commitments to anything. I don't have a commitment to any area. It's just that I don't know. Like, I'm in California. I know nothing about California. I'm just out here exploring different places with you guys on DoorDash. I'm just doing it, you know? So I'm not scared of it. But I guess being in the middle of nowhere in a desert somewhere sounds kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's like total serenity to me. So, and if I want to get a dog and just, you know, maybe document and YouTube my whole life, like maybe door dashing and living in my car at the same time. Maybe I'll stack enough money where I can get a van and live a van life and take you guys along with me with road trips. Who knows? Who knows where my life is going to be in a couple months? I don't know. I don't have an answer. I am totally just like, I don't know, for the first time in my life. Letting you guys into my world and in my personal life to have you feel bad for me or sad. This is the lifestyle that I think would be good for me. I got to experience it for just a short time, and it was great. It made me feel more alive than being in an apartment with my daughter, having this family and a roof over my head. It sounds kind of weird, but I think my life was meant to be being this just free traveler. I like being, I'm not lonely. I have great people in my life that are supportive. It's far and few, but why not have YouTube friends? Or maybe I could meet incredible nomadic or just van life friends in the YouTube world. I would love that. I don't know anybody. I have no friends out here. You know, I'm not going to get into my family life, but I'm out here just solo dolo in the world, just living my best life. And I know there's people out there because I have seen some incredible people on YouTube sharing their journeys, and it's so inspiring. I would love to incorporate taking you guys on trips with me, just like my journey from Wisconsin to California. Like I said, you guys, there's a whole playlist, 6 days worth of me videos from me. It was my first time making YouTube videos, and I had to document the whole thing because I never wanted to miss taking a road trip. Was a bucket list of mine, you guys, and seeing the Grand Canyon was a bucket list. So I got the opportunity to knock 2 things off my bucket list. And if I would have never, you know, had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, come here to California, I would have never taken a road trip across the country, let alone by myself, let alone visit the Grand Canyon, because I'm 40 years old and I never did it. So it's when you have that experience and you're in your own space and you're driving across the country, you're just like, what am I doing? I need to be living more of my best life. Why didn't I go do things? I don't have regrets in my life, but I'm like, why did I waste all this time not doing incredible things for myself and seeing these amazing, beautiful places that the world has to offer, and just doing things, like I said, that scare the hell out of you, that bring you joy. I would make up excuses for everything. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have any money. Well, guess what? When life just hands you a total curveball and says, well, you got 60 days to get out of your house, then I have to watch my daughter go move. I've been with my daughter for 18 years. She went to go live her best life with her dad. You know, I had to restart my whole life over in a completely different state. Things happen and you just evolve with it. So I'm not scared of it. I've already been through it. So to have me just keep doing it over and over again and everything's different every day, yeah, it's kind of scary. It's unpredictable, but I don't like predictable things. I like being comfortable and feeling safe, but I also like that excitement of not knowing what is going to happen. When I drove here to California, I didn't have a plan, you guys. I didn't write down in my book, okay, I'm going to go this day. I just did it because I was so scared. I didn't want to do it. I just jumped in, leaped, and did it. I knew from a YouTuber that I watched that you can stay at Love. So I literally traveled on the highways and stopped at every Love stop and slept in my car. I didn't feel unsafe. Like I said, I documented. If you guys want to go watch those videos, it's 6 days. I take you day by day with me from Wisconsin to California. So it's in my playlist if you guys want to watch it. I had such a great time. So I'm definitely looking for love and support and encouragement and knowledge and just positivity, you guys, as I share my life. I'm sharing my life with you every single day. And this is part of my journey. And this is the next chapter in my life. It's always temporary. Nothing is permanent. So you have to embrace it. You have to embrace the crazy and the weird and the different. And that's exactly what I do. That's just what kind of person I am. So thank you guys so much for listening to my story. I look forward to giving you updates about what I think I should be doing. Like I said, if you have any ideas or words of encouragement or where I should start or how to do it, I am in Simi Valley, California currently right now. I know there's a lot of different areas that, you know, I could camp at or look forward to or go check out while I'm renting a room. But it's temporary too. So I have to figure out what my next moves are, and I'm perfectly okay with staying in my car. Van life looks like an incredible experience. I watch so many videos and I see people's views and the things that they've done and the trips that they've been on. And it's just so beautiful and so inspiring to me. And that's the kind of life that I feel like I'm truly made to live. I took a day, actually this will be my 3rd day that I took a day And tomorrow we're going to go hustle, and we're going to have some goals, and we're going to have some ideas. I know I need to start writing down how I feel, keep a notebook about how I'm feeling and look back at it, because I have a tendency to not think about things. I avoid them. It's just part of my procrastination personality that I have, but it's always worked out for me. Kinda, unless I get thrown curveballs that I didn't plan for this to happen to me. It just happened for me. So remember, you guys, if you like this video, it means that you love me, you support me, you're like, hey girl, yes. If you want to see more videos, subscribe to my channel, hang out with me. I love having you here. I love sharing life with you guys. You know, consider it. If not, I'm not for you. That's okay. There's plenty of people out there that can inspire you and encourage you and love you, and you can support too. So I will see you guys on the next video. Ta-ta for now.